How to polish acrylic to make the edge nice and shiny. Also will explain why flame polishing is awful, why it sucks. I would never do that. And, well, try to keep this short and sweet, so let's get started. First, you want to start with a nice edge. If it's a saw cut edge, you might have to sand it or file it or something to, get it smoother. The smoother the edge, the better your results. So if you do have a saw cut edge, you can sand it with progressively finer sandpaper. You can start at, say, 220 grit, work your way down to 3000, for example, and then use Novus to finish it off. On this first try here, I'm going to use Novus 2. I'm going to not use this. I don't really see it makes much of a difference. So I'm just going to use Novus 2. So what you want to do is get one of these polyester cloths, dampen it under the faucet, and then add some Novus to it. I find these polyester cloths are a little more aggressive. They seem to work a little better. So yeah, let's put some of our Novus on here. I think my tip here is getting clogged. You don't want your tip clogged, that's not good. So here's the edge. So I'm just going to buff it a little bit. I'll do it right live on camera here. And it shouldn't take too much. Okay, that's good enough. And I wipe that off and look. And wow, it's already, look at that, already has a nice sheen on it. So I'm going to continue doing the rest of this, buff it a little more. And here is the results. Man, is that gorgeous? That looks professional. I spent a couple minutes on each side just polishing. That's it. Now, the trick is, like I say, is to start with a good edge. So how do you do that? Well, you can use a joiner. Set it up to take a very slim amount off the acrylic. Of course, when you first cut the acrylic, you're going to have to oversize it slightly because you're going to skim just a little bit off. You can also use a router table with your carbide bits to get a nice edge. Like I say, a saw cut edge is not going to do it. It's not going to give you a good enough starting edge. And this edge here is what I got off the joiner. And if you are getting lines in the edge, you might want to hit it with fine sandpaper, maybe 1000 grit, and then go up higher to maybe like 1500 to 3000 grit, and then follow it up with the Novus 2 polish. That should leave you without the lines. So what do I have against flame polishing acrylic? Well, it leaves stress in the material. So I have a high-grade cell cast acrylic here that I flame polish the edge. Then I rub some alcohol on it to stimulate what's known as crazing. If we can get a focus on that. See what happened there? Little micro cracks started. And even if I hold it there, see it? Even the surface started to craze. So yeah, it leaves stress in the material. And you might say, oh, won't you not put alcohol on it? Well, that stress is always going to be there, and over time it could start to crack. It could start crazing on its own. I just use alcohol to bring it out immediately to show that there is stresses in the material. And I'll show you another thing here using a polarizing filter. Okay, I'm on another camera here where I can put a polarizing filter on it, and I'm in front of an LCD screen. So the acrylic is now between two polarizing filters. And you can see the edge of the acrylic there. And see that band of light area? That's where there is stress in the material. Down here by my thumb, I did not put the torch on it, so there is no stress. But here you can see stress in the material because it changes the polarization of the light. This method is used to show stresses in materials, in clear materials, using polarizers. And, well, it certainly works here to show that, yeah, there is definitely stress built up in that acrylic, just waiting to craze over time.